Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we have some news around the Montreal Canadiens. As the Montreal Canadiens, again, this isn't necessarily about the on-ice stuff, but it's about some stuff that could be going on here over the next couple of months. Caufield, he's up for a new contract. What's going to happen there? What are they going to end up doing with Sean Monahan? Could he be here long term? Is there trade value? Do they trade him? We're going to go over all of that today. So this is from Eric Engels, and he said that the Canadiens could get a first-round pick for Sean Monahan at the trade deadline, which I think is a little bit high. But again, I think there is something to be said if he's playing on a good Habs team and getting enough ice time, maybe getting some PP time. Maybe we get to see a little bit more from Monahan, and he kind of just, from a change of scenery, is able to kind of rebound. And I'm really hoping that's what ends up happening here. We're going to have to wait to find out, though. Another thing on the goaltending front, and this is from Engels again, he said the Canadiens will likely identify future starting goaltenders in the 2023 NHL draft. So keep an eye out for the draft this year for my Habs fans out there, because especially the goaltending market, because I think that the Habs will be looking for a goaltender. And I'm making a video later about kind of what we're seeing in terms of the carry price front, and it doesn't look necessarily good. So I'll give you guys an update on that. Oh, okay, Christopher Gibson signed. So we'll see what happens there. Keep an eye out for that. We also heard from Marco D'Amico. He said the Canadiens are still searching to add a right-handed defenseman, and that is obviously one of the weaknesses for the Habs going into this year. But this is still a pretty good Habs team for what they've got here in a rebuild. A lot of young guys on the blue line, and I just hope those guys don't get too exposed. You've got David Savard on the right side. You have Jordan Harris. You have Jonathan Kovacevic. I do not know how to say that. I definitely butchered that. And Chris Weidman. So there's a couple guys in there. They don't have any defensemen on injured reserve that are right-handed. They do have Matheson and Edmondson, but those are both left-handed defensemen. So there's obviously a need to maybe bring in another right-shot defenseman. Again, the price might not be something that they are necessarily going to like, though. In terms of what we could see from Slavkovsky. Now, this is from Darren Trigger. He said, it's believed that it's likely the Canadiens will send Juraj Slavkovsky down to Laval in the American Hockey League. Now, that has not happened yet, and Slavkovsky has spent his entire career so far in the National Hockey League. He's already got his first NHL goal. Very exciting there. Congrats to Slavkovsky in his first 5 games as a Hab. But other than that, again, I think they're just trying to see what he is, dip their toe in the water with it, and maybe send him down for a couple weeks, and maybe we see him in January, and we see him in the new year, and that's not bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, let him develop properly. I would be more concerned judging him in years 3, 4, and 5 than right now. I don't care how, I mean, obviously I want him to do well, but I wouldn't be so worried about it until this team is a little more established and there's a little bit more stability there, and he starts pushing guys out of the lineup. And until then, I really wouldn't get too concerned one way or the other. So if he does get sent down, take it as a lesson, and I think he'll be better for it. So we'll see what happens there. Eric Engels also talked about Caufield, because Cole Caufield, if you guys did not know, is on an expiring contract. He's on the final year of his entry-level contract, turning 22 years old next year. So Caufield is going to be looking for a payday, and he said that the Canadiens would likely want Caufield's extension to be less than Nick Suzuki's $7.875. Great job by the Habs getting Suzuki to that number, because that sets the standard. Because if Suzuki gets $7.875, he's the captain, the face of this team. Well, Caufield can't dare make more than Nick Suzuki, and I think that is a very encouraging thing here for the Habs and their fans in terms of their salary cap structure over the next several years. Because if that's the case, well, if Caufield can't get paid more, then that means he's going to get somewhere between 7 and 7.5, which I would say is a pretty good bargain deal for the Habs. So we'll see what happens with that. That's definitely something to keep an eye on. He is a restricted free agent next year, but he is not arbitration eligible. yet he is available for an offer sheet. So you always have to worry about that, but that is something to look at. And that is it on the front for the Montreal Canadiens. Guys, stay tuned. I'm talking about Carey Price in a couple of days, about his status, which obviously is not the best, as he's been in, the NHL's assistance program and this and that, and he kind of opened up about that. So quick plug to that video that will be coming out shortly. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and let's go Habs.